Audi RS6 reign is officially over, and the car that ended it, of course it had to be BMW. The BMW M5 Touring has been out for almost a year now, and somehow, quietly, it's already taken the crown as the greatest superwagon ever made. But how did that happen? And why does almost no one seem to be talking about it? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why the M5 Touring just ended Audi's RS6 dominance. And before the comments fill up with, the M5 is basically a bus, yeah, Audi fans, I see you. Don't skip. Watch this all the way through. Then come back and tell me this car isn't insane. First of all, before we get to the comparison, why did BMW even build a touring car? BMW's been smashing sales records, building some of the best engines and cars of this generation, and setting the standard for performance. What I'm trying to say is, when you're good at something, the smartest move to keep the sales up is to just keep doing it. Why not just make another SUV again? I mean, after all, those are the best-selling cars worldwide. Here's the answer. BMW actually had an M5 Touring back in 2005 with the E34. For the fans, it was a lovely new idea for a car. So, at the same time, it achieved two goals. First, they finally fulfilled their fans' dream of bringing back the wagon. And second, and most importantly, they refused to follow the crowd with another SUV. Instead, they did something bold, grabbed everyone's attention, and went straight for the crown, challenging the king, the Audi RS6. Let's give respect. Rewind time real quick. It's 2002. Audi just built their first ever RS6, the C5. The world loved it. Why? Because this thing was basically the first real superwagon ever. You had supercar performance wrapped in what looked like a normal family wagon. It was the ultimate all-in-one car. Want to take the family on a road trip? Easy. Load a month's worth of groceries in one run? No problem. And if a Lambo pulled up next to you at a red light, yeah, you could embarrass it. That combo was ridiculous. And that's what made it special. Audi nailed the recipe. A twin-turbo V8 paired with the legendary Quattro all-wheel drive. The car did so well that over the next 23 years, Audi dropped 3 more RS6 generations, and every single one was a hit, building a massive, loyal community around it. For years, Audi was so dominant in the wagon game, it didn't even have a real rival, until now. Now that we know how the M5 Touring came to life and why the RS6 is so great, we can finally get to the spicy part, the actual comparison. First, we'll do a quick overview of the interior and exterior. Then, we'll break down the specs of both cars and see how they really perform against each other. And at the end, I've added one bonus round you're not going to want to miss. Look at these two cars side by side for a second. What do you see? Two absolutely unhinged wagons. One from BMW, the other from Audi, and neither of them is trying to be subtle. Let's start with the BMW. Design-wise, I actually like it. Yeah, I know, it caught a ton of hate, especially because of how the M5 badge looks now. But honestly, that bulky, muscular style just works on a wagon. It's got these sharp, aggressive lines, a super dominant stance, and that massive new front grille just screams presence. Love it or hate it, you cannot ignore it. Everything about the front end feels bold, angry, and purposeful, like it's ready to bulldoze the highway. On the other hand, the RS6 is the exact opposite, much more aggressive and angry than the M5. Both interiors are insanely nice. Super premium materials everywhere, huge high-tech screens, and all the comfort you could ever want. We're talking adaptive suspension that can go from soft cruiser to stiff performance mode instantly, fully electric seats, advanced infotainment systems, and basically every luxury feature you can think of. At this level, it's not really about which one is better anymore. It just comes down to personal preference. All right, now let's talk about the performance, because this is where the M5 pulls out its biggest weapon. Under the hood, the BMW M5 Touring isn't running some normal V8, not even close. This thing has a twin-turbo V8 paired with a plug-in hybrid system, and the numbers are honestly insane. We're talking 727 horsepower and 1,000 Newton-meters of torque. That's supercar territory. And it's not just big power on paper. With BMW's xDrive all-wheel drive system putting that power down, plus the lightning-fast ZF8 HP automatic transmission, this thing launches like it's been shot out of a cannon. 0 to 60 miles per hour? Around 3.1 seconds. 0 to 120? About 11 seconds. Top speed with the M driver's package? A wild 190 miles per hour. For something that weighs around 5,480 pounds, this performance is exceptional. Now, the RS6 is definitely not coming into this fight unarmed. The Audi RS6 Avant runs a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, making about 630 horsepower and 850 Newton-meters of torque. Still absolutely massive numbers. And of course, it sends all that power through Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system, which is basically cheat code traction. But here's where the RS6 has a huge advantage: weight. Even though these two cars look similar in size, the BMW is way heavier. We're talking roughly half a ton difference. And that lighter weight helps the Audi punch way above what its horsepower number suggests. So in real-world performance, they're actually super close. 0 to 60 miles per hour? About 3.5 seconds for the RS6. Top speed? Also around 190 miles per hour with the performance package. But when you stretch things out on a drag strip, the BMW starts to pull ahead. In the quarter mile, the M5 Touring takes a small but clear win, about 10.9 seconds compared to roughly 11.3 seconds for the RS6. It's close, but it's not equal. So yeah, the Audi is insanely quick, but the BMW is just on another level when it comes to raw power. Now, when it comes to lap times, things get a little tricky. The BMW M5 Touring doesn't have an official lap time around the Nürburgring Nordschleife yet, so we can't directly compare it to the Audi RS6 Avant there. But if we had to guess, the RS6 would probably have the edge, and it mostly comes down to weight again. The BMW is significantly heavier because of that hybrid system. And on a track like the Nürburgring, full of tight corners, elevation changes, and long high-speed sections, weight matters a lot. A lighter car can brake later, change direction faster, and carry more speed through corners. So while the M5 might dominate in straight-line power, the RS6 could realistically be the quicker car over a full lap. Of course, until BMW actually sends the M5 Touring around the ring and posts an official time, we're just speculating. Now, the final round, and honestly, the one that matters the most. Because a lot of times we get so hyped about horsepower, torque, and 0 to 60 times that we forget the most important thing of all, especially for a wagon. What is it actually like to live with every single day? That's the real test. Which car gives you the better daily driving experience? And here, the BMW M5 Touring just takes the win. That hybrid system isn't only there for crazy power, it also makes the car way quieter and smoother when you're just cruising around. In normal driving, it feels more relaxed, more refined, and honestly, more effortless. You can glide through traffic almost silently, soak up bumps with the adaptive suspension, and just enjoy the drive without the car constantly screaming at you to go fast. It's also more efficient, which actually matters if you plan to use this thing as a real daily and not just a weekend toy. So yeah, when it comes to pure everyday usability, school runs, road trips, commuting, grocery runs, all of it, the M5 Touring simply feels like the more complete package. It's still an absolute monster when you want it to be, but it can also chill. Honestly, you really can't go wrong with either of these cars. Both the BMW M5 Touring and the Audi RS6 Avant are absolutely insane machines. They're fast, luxurious, practical, and honestly, as close to perfect as a performance wagon can get. But if I had to pick a winner, the BMW takes it. Why? Because BMW did something they don't usually do. They stepped way outside their comfort zone, and somehow nailed it. Taking a heavy hybrid system, stuffing it into a super wagon, and still making it feel smooth, refined, and ridiculously fast is not easy. Yet the final result feels effortless, balanced, complete. It can be a silent daily driver, a long-distance cruiser, or a straight-up supercar killer, all in one package. And that's what makes it special.